First on the agenda is the President's report. I only have one thing, and that is the presentation regarding the mental health services. Director Buckley.
Thank you, President Ballerine, members of the Village Board, and Manager Francis for allowing me a few moments to discuss a new service here at Riverside. At the last Village Board of Trustees meeting on February 17th, the members of the Village Board approved an agreement for crisis services offered by Presence Behavioral Health. This service is an essential component of our public safety responses here in Riverside. Legislation known as the Community Emergency Services and Support Act, otherwise known as CESA, became law on February 1st of this year with an implementation date of July of 2022. The purpose of this act is to transfer first responder duties from law enforcement to mental health professionals when someone reports a mental health crisis in progress or requests behavioral support. This requires having access to mental health professionals around the clock every day of the year. I am pleased to say that with the implementation of this new service, we are one step closer to accomplishing this goal. This has not been an easy task. As a village, a police department, and the fire department, we have explored many different options and programs. One of the programs we explored and ultimately chose was the Presence Behavioral Health Program. It is a program that has been used for several years by two of our neighboring communities, Brookfield and North Riverside. This program has proven to be very successful in those communities with outstanding services. The decision was made to complete the missing piece of the puzzle and add Riverside to this group. Riverside currently shares boundaries, our dispatch center, as well as schools with Brookfield and North Riverside. So this partnership truly makes sense. So at this point, I'd like to introduce Sybil Curavala, who is the Director of Crisis Stabilization at Presence Behavioral Health, to give an overview of the program that they offer. Sybil?
Hi, I want to first off thank you all for choosing to partner with our agency to provide these services. We've provided these services in this area for the past 30 years. I myself have been with the organization for 15 years and started off as a police crisis worker myself. So our goal is to provide support to police departments by being the mental health experts when it comes to mental health needs that they're coming to on the scene. But in addition to that, we provide support to the residents through individual meetings whenever is needed, and residents are able to contact our crisis line at any time to be able to reach out to the assigned police crisis worker for Riverside. So not only do we see ourselves as clinicians who are there in times of emergency, but we also try to ensure that we're supporting residents all the way through that process and coming up with safety plans and linkage to long-term services in order to really provide stability in times of crisis.
So part of this program, I would also like to thank the Riverside Township, especially Supervisor Vera Wilt, for the support that they have offered. The Village of Riverside Public Safety Departments have partnered with the Township and their Mental Health Board, and I cannot thank them enough for the financial support and continued assistance of our crisis service program. I would like to introduce Tim Heilenbach from the Riverside Township Mental Health Board to say a few words about some of the services offered by the mental health in the township, mental health board in the township, as well as our partnerships with training of our first responders. Tim?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Riverside Board, Village Board. I want to thank you for inviting me to your meeting this evening. I've worked with Director Buckley since about May of last year on this program to get a clinician and services in for Riverside Police. As Matt had mentioned, Brookfield and North Riverside have the same one, which is partly funded by Proviso Township. When the village came to Vera and myself about 3 weeks before they approved it and asked if we would be interested in partnering up, I immediately thought, we've got to find the money for this. And we did. And we're very, very pleased to partner up with Riverside on this. We don't want you to be an island. Since then, Director Buckley and I have gone over a few things that we could also do. We have a community resource center here in the building. That community resource center will and can help people out with special needs. They've helped people find housing. They've helped people get doctors or prescriptions, whatever the case may be. They're a big, big resource. Director Buckley and I have started a pilot program for Riverside, and we're going to probably roll it out to Brookfield and North Riverside, where Director Buckley has assigned an officer as a senior liaison. So if the officers are on the street and they come across somebody that's in desperate need, whether it be in their home or on the street, they can take that, give it to Officer Morello, and Officer Morello can contact our Community Resource Center, and we will find help for them as quickly as possible. So we also are providing crisis intervention training, which is going on this week here at the Village Hall. 17 of our first responders from our township partners, Riverside, Brookfield, North Riverside, are taking a certified class, which is certified by the state of Illinois, which is required by the state of Illinois. And we have committed that we will make sure that our officers all get trained, along with some of our firefighters and some of our dispatchers in crisis intervention training. We have a lot of programs. I thank you for this opportunity. I know you have a lot of business tonight, so thank you again for inviting me.
Thank you, Mr. Heilenbach. And I would also like to thank you, Chairperson of the Township Mental Health Board, as well as Ms. Welt, Supervisor of Riverside Township, for your interest and collaboration on this initiative. It is imperative that our taxing bodies work together for the best of their residents, and this collaboration is the latest example of what can be achieved when we work in unison for the better of our community. So thank you very much. Trustees, any questions for Mr. Heilenbach, Sybil, or Director Buckley? Okay, hearing none.
I'd also like to mention John Carroll from the Township Board is here also representing the township. Tim forgot to introduce him, so I'll do it for him. But it's important to have that partnership, as President Ballerine just said, and grateful that you're here to see this also. So thank you.
Thank you.
So providing mental health services has always been a priority of mine, as well as the members of the Village Board and all of the employees here at the Village of Riverside. We have recently made great strides in being able to offer services to those in need. We will continue to expand our programs and develop them to deliver the best possible services to those requiring our assistance. I want to personally thank the members of the Village Board, Manager Francis, President's Behavioral Health, and the Riverside Township for providing us with the necessary services to offer to our community. So thank you very much. I look for many great things coming out of our programs. We've made a lot of progress already. We will continue to do so, and I think it's vitally important to our community to keep that moving forward and to keep doing these things and working together to do so. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Buckley.